allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now we'll start with a roll call this morning, this afternoon. We have Adams.
Here.
Burek.
Here.
Gifford.
Here.
Green.
Here.
Gonzi.
Here.
Crane.
Here.
I'm here. We're going to do our agenda approvals.
Yeah, so we do have some changes to the agenda. We are gonna move, do I have Rosalind? So we're gonna move 6D, the alternate for the tax board review. We're gonna move her up to 6A1. And then we're going to move Chris Nordstrom from Carlisle Wortman is here as well. And we had his in 6H, so we're gonna move that and add 6A2. And there was a sheet that was left out of the agenda that I've given to everybody on the board. That is, everybody was sent it prior, but it didn't get put in the packet by accident. So everybody has that now, so we're gonna do that, and that'll be 6A2. And that's for the Connecting Communities grant.
Make a motion to approve. Vote.
So,
All in favor?
Aye.
Right. We're at public comment. Now here's the deal with public comment. I want you everybody to understand, I'm thankful for every one of you in here. Glad to see this community come together with their concerns. Everyone in here has a right to be heard. But the rules are the rules, whether I like them or not. You have to separate your feelings from the law. So what we're doing here today is our job, what we got voted to do. The integrity of our board, of our community, lies within telling the truth and doing our job, whether I like it or you like it or not. So when you do your public comment, it is on agenda items only. If it is not on the agenda, then we got nothing to talk about till the end of the evening. You got 3 minutes. Is anybody here that need to speak with anything that is on the agenda only? Don't be scared.
Hi.
Hello.
I just wanted to comment about the Parks and Pathway. I think it's a great project, and I just wanted to ask if do you already have your members set, or are you collecting people that might be interested? You don't have to answer now, but that was just my comment. I wondered how the selection process was going to work. Thank you.
Thank you. Is anybody else?
Here, I got a question. Is the cell tower?
You got one just.
All right, sorry.
I want to speak to the rezoning, and I hope that all of you had time to really listen to the comments and hear the hearts of the people that were at the special meeting. It says, this message reiterates my serious concerns about the proposed data center project, specifically its significant incompatibility with the township's sustainability goals. The project's projected daily water consumption is 1 million gallons, represents a substantial and unsustained drain on our local resources, directly conflicting with our ongoing commitment to solar energy initiatives. So we put in solar to help with the energy, and then we bring in a data center to suck it up. So it doesn't make sense in my mind, but not that bright. The considerable public apprehension expressed at the recent township meeting underscores the need for a comprehensive review of this proposal. I strongly urge the board, in collaboration with Carlisle and Mortman, to reconsider the project in its current form. A thorough environmental impact assessment is crucial, encompassing a detailed exploration of alternative, environmentally responsible design and
How
operational
about put you on
strategies.
hold for a moment? The data center is not what's on the agenda.
Well,
The data center is not what's on the agenda. It is a zoning issue.
so when we were at the
Ma'am,
special meeting and they
Ma'am.
introduced the,
Eileen, please listen.
okay, but I,
Please listen. This is a zoning issue.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you decide to put a ice cream parlor over there or a roller skate rink or whatever, it is a rezoning issue. It has nothing to do with what's going in there. It is, does this meet the requirements of rezoning? Yes or no? And that is all we're concerned with. The rest of those, I'm listening to what you're saying, but the rest of those issues that you're concerned with does not go on this meeting.
okay. I'm just really confused then, because that's
Okay,
what the
well,
special meeting, can I just finish this?
Yes,
sentence?
ma'am, but I would appreciate it. if you
Because
would-
the special meeting was all
Ma'am,
about the data zone.
It is not on the
I mean, the
agenda,
data-
so please sit down.
The reason,
Whoa!
no, I don't, I mean, don't.
Hey, Rodney,
It's- I just-
excuse me. If we are gonna act like children, I swear, we'll close this meeting down and go home.
Okay.
This is, excuse me, this is not on the agenda, and
All
I
right.
completely, completely told you that from the get-go.
All right,
That is
no,
not an
I-
issue. Please sit down.
No,
We'll
I'm
talk
gonna
about
finish
something
then,
else.
I'm just gonna finish
You're
then.
not.
I can't finish
You're
on the
not.
rezoning, I will scrap what I have here.
Well,
I
you
will
talk
talk
about
about
zoning. Yes, ma'am,
rezoning,
then
I
you're
will
good.
talk about agriculture.
You're running out of time
Well, because you took it all.
because you're talking about
Because
the wrong
you
thing.
took it all.
I'm not going back and forth with you. Have a
Gosh,
seat, please.
darn it, this is what we deal with every month.
Listen, this is a meeting of grown people.
You're right.
Exactly, so we need to act like this. And I specifically said, this is about the ordinance issue, about the agenda items only. Everybody has a right to speak on the agenda items only.
The agenda, that was the whole agenda last.
Ma'am, you're not gonna interrupt this meeting, because I will just soon shut it down, and we'll come back at another day. Now, sorry for the interruption. Yes, sir.
Mr. Waller, just have a question. I'm new to your meetings.
Okay.
I'm not new to the township. I've been here a while. But can you just briefly explain what's on the agenda so we know when we can and cannot talk?
Okay, that's a good question. So what happens is they pass out an agenda package a week before each meeting. That way everybody is informed of what's going on. I'm very, very strong on advocating about transparency. You need to know, it's your right. They hired me here to do a job, to advocate for you, each and every one of you, even if I don't even like the way the ideas or whatever. That's not my job to have a personal interest in this. It's what's right, it's what the book's right. If I can't advocate for this person over here, I can't do my job and advocate for you. So there's an agenda here, and I think if there's one around here that we can pass about, hell, I'll give you mine or something. Do you have any extra?
I do have it
Yeah,
right
there's
now.
a table full.
There's a table full of agendas. If anybody would like to get one, please grab it. And feel free to indulge. This is your community, so I want you to be involved. But I don't want you to be
And they're on the
misled.
website that they can print on.
And it's also on the website.
The
Yes,
last
sir.
part of that question, because I'm here for something probably maybe not even on the agenda.
Okay?
So I assume I can speak later.
Yes, sir.
Okay, is there anything on here about the proposed tower going in?
No, not today.
So that would be something I could speak on later.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and everybody has the right to speak, but because of time and place for everything. And we're gonna act, you know what I mean? If I have to act accordingly, we're all going to. It's my job to make sure we do what we're supposed to do. And everybody has the right to be heard. But we gotta be out here by 9 o'clock because they gotta do some cleaning too, so let's not hold up anything else. So is there anything on the agenda that anybody would like to speak on? Yes, ma'am.
I just had a question because the packet, page 15.
Come on up so you can hear it. Everybody can hear you. What's your name?
My name is Heidi.
Hello Heidi.
Hi. I'm just speaking in regards to the packet, page 15.
Okay,
That does explicitly say data center campus. So are we not allowed to talk about packet information?
no ma'am, so what happens is, they come in and they were doing a rezoning for property for the data center. Okay, we're not talking about what the project is or whatever, does this meet the requirements of rezoning? That's what the purpose of the planning commission's job was. They weren't able to accomplish their job due to issues, not all on that commission, but a few more than needed. So it had to come back to us. So what it is does this property meet, if we're on the subject, no, it's still public comment, so. But does this meet the requirement, right? So here's how this works. You decide to come in with an idea, and everybody here has a right to do this. You have a right to come in and say, hey, I have a plan. I have something that I would like to put into this area, right? And the first process that you have to go through is zoning, right? So to be fair with everybody, you come in, does this fit the requirements for rezoning, yes or no, right? So after you do the rezoning, and then you come back for site plan review, right? So we can't put the cart before the horse. We have to do one job before the other. So what's happening is, excuse me,
Let me just, yeah, I'll just say that the reason that we put that in there is because we wanted Carlisle Wortman's opinion
right, which is our
about
plan.
the rezoning to be out there for everyone to see.
Right.
So we had it out there for the special meeting, and then we did include it, she's talking about this one, this page. And so we included it in the packet, just so everyone would see that that was our planner's recommendation. That's why it's in there.
So that's why it's in there, but it's not about building a data center or anything, a roller coaster park or anything else. It's about rezoning this property.
So if a resident had concerns about how rezoning was interpreted, could they?
You can look it up, it's
Something
all,
about-
you can come to the township, they have all that information, and then you can ask about it in the public comment toward the end.
Okay, I would have loved to hear what the other resident had to say, since it was in the packet.
Right, no, that's perfect, but you'll have time toward the end of the.
Okay, thank you.
But thank you for your concern. Come on, young man. You've been called worse, I'm sure.
Yes, so in regards to zoning and only questions about the zoning, myself and a lot of the other people in here did go to that special meeting that you had for the zoning, and they turned it down. Their suggestion was that, not suggestion, but they recommend that you do not rezone it. And then part of the discussion there, while there was many about the data center, was it was a conditional. It was a conditional zoning. So that is, you know, are you going to talk about the conditional zoning? I mean, cause that, or do you just make a decision and then after you decide, we talk about what's going there? I mean, I don't understand that, because that meeting was very specific, and they told us that they actually asked that you know, that you would answer questions, hopefully, because they didn't answer any questions whatsoever that we had.
Okay.
They reiterated the questions, but there was no answers, and the I don't remember the board that was running the data center that wanted to, so that they would do their best to have a written proposal talking about exactly what about these
Okay,
questions.
now I'm glad what you're saying. So what happens is, here's the deal. I'm gonna explain it to you guys again. There is a process that we all have to follow. There's laws, so that it's fair for you, me, and everybody else that sits in here. There's no unfairness across at all. There's no buddy system or nothing. Does this piece of property meet the requirements for rezoning? That is a yes or no deal. Does it fit in the plans that we have? Yes or no? And that's it. That's the first portion of the project, of any project that we do. And the problem is, too many people got their feelings involved instead of their paying attention to what the law and rules are. You cannot change the rules for you, me, or anybody else
why, and we heard you say this already.
Okay, so what do you-
And I'm asking you again,
Yes, sir, go ahead.
is this a conditional rezoning board meeting or not for that?
I'd like to comment, because every question at the planning commission special meeting was site plan review. And they would not have that information. And we can't hold them at a rezoning meeting for a site plan review.
Now,
All right.
you want me to respond, I can respond to him?
Okay, yeah, but we're running across our rule for the 3-minute deal. So go ahead and make it quick. But we
Okay, well,
can't-
first
we
of all,
can't carry
stuff like, you know, who is gonna pay for the fire department that's needed
All right,
to
listen,
cover
you're
that?
getting off track.
Well, that's
You
what-
getting off-
those were the
hang on,
questions.
I'm not doing
That's
it.
all site plan review.
That's site plan review, that's.
Okay.
Zoning is 100%.
Okay, so zoning, do you just make a decision and you get no input from
No,
the community?
there is rules in place for all of us, you too.
What kind of questions can we ask her? Because,
It's simple as this, does this meet the requirements for a rezoning? Yes or no?
what does it?
Who says?
I'm asking you, does it?
Yes, it does. And your planner, your planner says it does.
They said, no.
the planning
All right,
commission.
here's what happens. All you people that, we're not gonna get in this in-depth conversation. Robert, are you here? Please stand up. I'm sorry to put you on the spot. This is our commissioner for the planning commission. Yes or no, did this property meet the rezoning requirements? Simple question.
Yes.
Okay. Keith Gifford, you're on the planning commission. Does this meet the requirements of a rezoning?
Yes, it does.
Is it not you guys' responsibility to do your job? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. What else do you need to hear? When your feelings get involved, we have these problems. That is not what we're gonna do here. This is not the integrity of this township, it's not the integrity of the people, it's not what I represent. So it meets the requirements, they have the right to do it. This is about rezoning. I don't care if they put in a fan, I don't care if they put in a boom box, I don't care if they put in a boat in the yard. It has nothing to do with the rezoning. Simple as that.
I think it also needs to be pointed out, like you said, we're just doing this on the rezoning.
That doesn't
It
even
does
mean they're
not-
gonna do the job.
It doesn't even matter if everyone on here likes the plans that's going, that's talked about later on. It's all about what the law says that we have to say yes or no if it meets those requirements. And that's what I think everybody is missing. If it meets the requirements, whether you like what's going on there or not, that is what you have to do, is what the requirements tell you have to do. And I
This
think
law
that's
is-
what's being missed.
And that's the fairness and law for each and every one of you in here. What else have you got? Come on.
I was helping this young lady here a little shorter.
The tall lady back in the back corner, can I help you?
Is it okay if I make a comment?
Yes, ma'am. What would you like, Cass?
Oh, you're gonna make me hold the mic?
No, I'm gonna come to you.
Oh, wow, this is getting right here, hold on.
Yeah, that's her.
Look, I live with a musician and I know a lot about mics and you're too close to the thing.
Well,
I can stand at that mic. I'm perfectly capable of doing that. A lot of people know me up here, so you know I'm gonna speak my peace of mind. So, I'm just gonna say this. The ordinances are developed by residents of this township. Every member who has served on the planning commission has been a resident of this township over generations. And they write the ordinances, the board members participate in that because the planning commission goes over that. They do that in accordance with the laws, what they understand at the time, what they think will be in the best interest of the township, and what they think will be coming or not coming in the future. And that's how and then it goes to the board make the recommendations to the board approves or disapproves at that time. So when these things came in, when they talked about whether it was a solar farm, a data center, cell towers, whatever, and setbacks and all of that stuff. And I am not saying I'm in favor or against anything, I'm just talking about how this process works. And the truth is, as a cancer survivor, I wouldn't want something that might cause cancer in my backyard. I'll be, watch my language, I'll be freaking honest about that. However, the problem is, if you don't know what's coming, and people don't think, and when I say people, it's not just these people, it's not the people on that current planning commission, but if people in general, in the community, do not look at what's the ordinances and the guidelines of their community, and they don't say, hey, you know, they're talking, a town over, they're talking about putting in apartment complexes. What if a developer wants to come here and do that? A town over, they're talking about doing this. What if they want to come here and do that? What are our rules and what are the laws, what are the ordinances here? If somebody, whether it's Linda Adams or Kath Howard or Dave Music or Rodney Taylor or whoever, Pete Hafler or Jane Doe doesn't say, what about, and we don't look at it, and someone, and before they show up and say, maybe we should do something different. Or when they do show up, and our ordinances say, we only have to have a 50-foot setback. And people are going, 50 foot, oh my God! And the people who come, and it's legal for them to only do 50 feet, and they're not willing to negotiate 700 feet, you're shit out of luck, okay? I'm just gonna be honest. So it's not their fault, and it's not Robert Yerk and his planning commission's fault. We have to take responsibility for what we want and how we plan for our future. And some people are gonna hate me for saying that, but that's the reality of how communities plan for their future. And that's why people get so upset, because they think somebody else is gonna do this. Somebody else will do this. I thought that 13 years ago, I had not a clue until somebody said, do you want to run for office? And I thought they were nuts. Because I didn't know anything about it. And I had a whole new learning curve. Now I can tell you how to look up laws like crazy, but I didn't know how to do that 13 years ago. I learned. I'm one of the people that did a ton of research for our board. Because I learned, because I'm the person that likes to look stuff up.
Kath, maybe we're.
So anyway, that's my point, and I'm just saying that because we have to think about that, all of us, going down the road for the next 20, 30, 50, 100 years. Thank you.
Thank you
And
very
thank you
much.
for
Thank you
letting
very
me
much.
speak.
Good to see you getting around. Okay, we're gonna shut down the
I have one for you too. Do I get 3 minutes or?
gentleman item, agenda item. Come on up.
Okay, did this meet the?
You need to stand by the microphone.
Please stay who you are.
My name's Rodney Taylor. I've learned a lot in 4 years about this. Does this project meet the land management use for the township? Does it meet the master plan?
It meets your requirements of a rezoning. That's
Okay.
what we're talking
Yeah,
about.
that's part of rezoning. It's gotta meet those requirements, correct?
Did you not hear what we said? It meets your requirements of rezoning.
Okay, I hear quite good, but I don't like being the way you're acting. I had a question, I didn't understand it, now you.
Did you, here, let me help you.
Yeah, help
It
me.
meets the requirements of
Okay,
rezoning.
so does that mean that it meets these
That
requirements?
means it requires of
Does
rezoning.
that mean you can vote no to have it there?
That means it meets the requirements of a rezoning.
I'm just asking a question, does that mean that that's in writing now, if it meets it?
Somebody please grab me a crayon.
Yeah,
It meets the
you need it
requirements
to put behind your ears
of
to meet your
Rodney,
personality.
I'm not gonna argue.
I'm not gonna,
Have a seat.
don't say the crayon,
Have a
you're
seat.
picking on people, you can say stuff and
Have
pick
a
on me
seat.
saying, you're saying I'm stupid, like, where's the crayon?
I'm not saying you're
That's
stupid, you're saying
bullshit.
that.
When you say a crayon, that's what happens. You're trying to act like I'm stupid.
Grab-
I've heard enough of your stupid shit all the
You
time.
need a bib too.
Yeah, you need one under you for drooling for your buddies you keep with you.
Time to leave.
Yes, it
Yeah.
does meet
Yeah.
master plan and.
Yeah, keep up your comments, making everybody feel like kids. You
I don't
guys
think-
heard
look-
what he
look at
said
these
at crayon.
people. They sitting here
Yeah.
respectable.
Yeah, because you shut them up.
Yeah, be like him.
Crayon comment was unbelievable.
Thank you.
Custom program.
Well, I didn't have, what else we wanna, listen, let's get back focused on the program here.
is what you said.
Well, that's good, probably shouldn't ate so many of them.
Yeah, that's why you're like you are, you ate too many.
All right, any more public comment? Yes, sir.
Now, I don't normally get up, but I'm gonna get up. Each and every one of you know me. I was previous supervisor for 8 years. You guys got a tough job, and I'll say it again, you guys are doing a good job. In 35 years or so I've been going to meetings, you're trying to inform people of the process. Unfortunately, the process sometimes gets confusing, and I think that's what's going on here. People were able to speak at the last meeting for the zoning for this data center, and they're heard, they're not forgotten, but that's in another process, not rezoning. This has to do with rezoning only. The other process comes after. And in fact, if they go forward, if they meet all the requirements of the state, of the county, of this board, of the planning commission, that's all that matters right now. That's the bottom line, if it meets zoning.
Thank you, Pete. All right, any more we got public? Yes, sir.
Yeah, one question, I guess, to piggyback off what the lady was saying earlier, and it's more of a question. So we're seeing if it meets the requirements. Is there a requirement in there for, I just thought of it a minute ago, the public input? I mean, or is it, can we put something in our bylaws that says once it meets all this, it also has to be approved by the public? Is there like a motion we can put in to change that particular part of the zoning laws? You get what I'm trying to?
Yeah,
If
good question,
we-
good question.
So at that point, we don't need no elected officials or a planning commission. So we're gonna have 7,000 people determine what's gonna go on?
Yeah.
Well,
So we just do without a board?
I mean, if that's what the
That's
community
democracy.
would want, I think that would be.
Is it?
Yeah,
The governor don't have
democracy, that's people choosing what they want, that's the basis.
input is one thing.
Let's not get off track.
Is another.
He's asked a good question, he asked a good question.
I'm not trying to say that you go on a broader scale like that, you're taking it way out of, but as a small community, we gotta be able to look out for the best interests of our community, and we can do it legally. Maybe you're saying that, okay, as of it's right now, we got our hands tied, but can we untie those hands for the next project, or the next, you know what I'm saying?
Right, so that's good, and then this is exactly what Kath Howard was saying.
Yeah, that's.
To be a person that is a strong advocate in your community, you need to be involved.
Mhm.
Which, hey, I'm glad you guys are here. That's what I got voted in to do this job, to advocate for you, because you got a job to do. Other people have a job to do. You don't have time to come up here and listen at this and deal with it. We have to make the decisions that are beneficial for the community and the people. And to be a part of that is be involved. So we change the ordinances, we do things and be prepared. Watch what's going on in your neighboring communities. That's exactly what Kath Howard just said up here and spoke. You know what I mean?
That's kind of what I'm getting at.
Right, yeah, and then she was absolutely right, which I'm thankful she said, and what the question you asked is a good question, it's fair. Like you said there a minute ago, that's what the process is, be part of the process. If you don't like it, do something to change it. You know, this is a community, we work together. And they ain't here to throw rocks and fight each other. But the fact of the matter is, if I don't come in here and do my job and represent that person over there, I can't represent you. See what I'm saying? And that's where I have to be. And whether I like you, like this person or like that person has nothing to do with it. And that's where what's happened, where we got off a tilt here. And we got to get back on the path of reality and what's right for everyone. And follow the rules that are implemented here. You know what I mean? And that's what we have to do.
Right.
I don't make the rules, we have to follow them. And they voted me in to do so.
Right. So then would that be a process
So-
that we had to make a motion for, or would that be something you all would have to make a motion for?
As far as changing the ordinance and
Yeah.
stuff, what's input from the community? Wait, what do you
And
think?
would
What do we think? You know?
So-
It's an agenda
At a
item,
normal-
I'm really confused.
So
I
right
listened to
now,
all of these things that are not agenda items, and I was told to
it's
sit
related.
down because they're not agenda items.
Oh, you know, you're absolutely right. Let's cut it off. Let's get down to business. What would you like to say, Sue?
well, I just wanted to say, outside of changing the ordinances, we have things come up during the meetings through the year, and periodically, like with the master plan, you know, we revisit that every 5 years. We do the budget. There's certain points during meetings through the year that we ask for the public's input. And it has a lot to do with shaping what goes on in this community. So aside from the ordinances, there are a lot of things that you can give input on, but you have to come to the board meetings, these meetings here in person. And that's where we really fall down in this community, because tonight is very unusual. We never have this many people here, ever. Usually our regular meetings are 10 people in the audience, if that, regularly. So if you want to get involved and see changes, you have to show up here at the board meetings. and this has been brought up at other board meetings where it was the solar farm, it was the apartments, and it's been said over and over, we don't have anyone shows up until the 11th hour. 11th hour is too late to come here. It's crickets out there on a regular meeting. Something that someone doesn't agree with, then we have all these people out here. Like they said, get involved before, not the 11th hour.
And this is a good thing to do, be involved in your community. That's why I'm sitting here. I was taken advantage by some members of the last board that ripped me a new ass for no reason and targeted me and harassed me horribly. And I sit here so this doesn't happen to you. I don't need this job, it pays nothing. I sweep floors at Walmart. To sit up here and listen to a bunch of people with an attitude, is it worth it to me? No, but here's the deal. I don't want what happened to me to happen to the people in my community. So I sit here and advocate for you. But I can't advocate for you if I'm gonna lie to you or if I'm not gonna follow the rules. That's just the way it works. So get involved, be part of it, you know what I mean? And listen, don't come to listen to respond, listen to learn. And we'll have a great communication, a great relationship, and we'll be able to accomplish some good things. What you got?
Planning Commission's working on some ordinance now. It'd be nice to see a good crowd for input. On housing readiness, we just finished a solar, nobody comes. And that's where it happens. That's where the ideas come